to meet you all. Yes.
Yes, John.
John was on, then he went off. I'm not sure why.
I think it's probably like his network.
He's on.
Frank, can you go next maybe?
Frank.
Yes, we can hear you. Just try to be like more audible.
What?
Okay, we can hear you. Okay. We can hear you.
I'm Frank. Okay, I'm Frank Mutamba and I'm from UG.
Sure.
You know,
what are you up to, Frank?
Should I come again?
Yeah, sure.
I'm Frank Mutamba and I'm from Uganda. My network is not good, that's why I'm even not playing my... Yeah, that is it. If not, I might use text.
Oh. Is anyone speaking? Can you hear me? All right. Sorry, like. Okay. So John is telling me he's kind of like having challenges with the network. So I think we should just like have to move on. So like today we are going to be. So like today we're not like going to be, you know, kind of like having our onboard kind of like session, just like to get to learn more about the organization, to welcome our new members, and what should you expect today. You should learn about our programs, our history, what a typical month with us looks like, our work schedules, our rules and regulations, as well as our employee satisfaction. So I think I've already done the bit of introduction, and then definitely we have to welcome our new AFRISSUN executive members. So our new executive director is Shiba. Our new director is Shiba.
Shiba, nice to meet you.
Yeah. And then Lydia Mothel. I don't know if I really pronounced Lydia's name so well, but I'm very sorry, Lydia.
It's accurate.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So Lydia is going to be our new programs director, and then we have Leta, who has not been able to join us today. So Leta is a law student. I think he'll be graduating this year from Gulu University. He will be our programs assistant. So they'll be working together with Leta, Lydia, Shiba, I, and the whole executive team to ensure that we definitely have programs that are actually making impact. Yeah, so they kind of like provided their bios, and I kind of like put the bios on their website, on the website. So in case you want to read more about them, you can definitely just go to the website, scroll through the AFRISSUN bios, and yeah, you can get to learn more about them. Yeah. So I'm very sorry. I think I didn't really edit this slide very well. But yeah, basically, I think like all of us kind of like attended the anniversary kind of like event, and I think you're able to learn more about the history of AFRISSUN. And I don't think this is something I'm going to probably like going to maybe spend more time on today. Yeah, but definitely, you know how the whole organization started, and probably you have a clear understanding of where it might be going. Yeah, but I think to summarize our founding story, I think it can be summarized in this philosophy that says that everyone can definitely make a difference. So as AFRISSUN, we believe that everyone, regardless of your financial background, of your skill sets, in one way or the other, you can be able to join people, and kind of like make a difference in one way or the other. So that is what we actually believe in as a network, and that is why we have our doors open to any sort of person who is willing, who is determined to kind of like lead change in their communities. And what we do as an organization is that we just support you to kind of like realize that goal. Yeah, so what is our mission and vision? So these are all things that I think all of us can be able to kind of like read from our website, but our vision is to have an educated and self-sustained generation. So as an organization, we realize that the current youth on the continent, when it comes to their education, I don't think it's that education that is very holistic. And also, when it comes to the issue of self-sustainability, we realize that many youth today are depending on systems that I don't think would be existing in the next 10 years. So when we look at the political systems, when we look at like people just have like temporary kind of like systems that they are currently like relying on right now. So as an organization, that is our vision, to see a generation that is educated, and by educated we mean like a holistic form of education that kind of like moves beyond the classroom and enables a person to productively engage with their communities. And then our mission is to support underprivileged children on the continent by mainly providing them with leadership, education, opportunities. Because we believe that once these things are definitely made right in someone's life, we believe that this person can be able to kind of like escape such cycles of poverty, such cycles of I should say they can be able to kind of like navigate this whole complicated system that is on the African continent, with many challenges produced by the poor education as well as the poor leadership structures on the continent. Yeah, and then I'm very sorry I really made these slides very late in the night, but as an organization, we kind of like have objectives and then core values. I don't know if I was able to send you the profile, the organization profile, but I think it is something I'll do. It kind of like has all this information, and also like on our website, I think you'll be able to kind of like read through our objectives as an organization and our core values. So maybe just to summarize, I can just go through if maybe our 4 main objectives and our core values as an organization. And we believe that whatever kind of work we are doing as an organization, it's mainly guided by these objectives. And our objectives are not like very static. So these are things that we can change after a period of time, because we believe that change. We're not the only people leading change on the continent, and other people are kind of like leading change in one way or the other. So our first core value is integrity. And how do we define integrity as the Africa Student Support Network? We believe that integrity is the compass that guides our decision-making process as we work positively to impact students. So in whatever we're doing as as AFRISSUN, we try to be integral. And then we have service. So every member of the network we encourage every member of our network to use their position of privilege to care for the needs of the individuals around them. And then we have commitment. So this is the personal choice I think we make as a network, our members make, by taking on the mantle of leadership and working tirelessly to leave a positive mark in the world. So we believe that on any journey, on any change journey, I think we need a lot of commitment or determination if you're to realize our goals. And then we also believe in development. So we aim to incubate, and implement solutions that will develop, deconstruct rather, the cycles of poor leadership and the abject poverty on the African continent. So those are our 4 main core values as an organization. And then our objectives, our kind of like, our first objective is we hope to extend education and leadership development support to different students' situations by providing a platform over which students can significantly contribute to different communities. So we hope that we can kind of like be a central hub where people can raise general support, where we can encourage stakeholders when it comes to education and leadership on the African continent to channel their support towards our network. And also, we want to create a network of schools through which students, teachers, and other education stakeholders will have the opportunity to work together. So we believe in the power of unity as an organization, and therefore, through our activities, we hope to forge networks between schools, between individuals, and between various stakeholders to see how we can have a combined joint effort to provide solutions to the most pressing issues around education and leadership on the African continent. And then, yeah, we also, hope to kind of like facilitate learning and sharing on common interests such as education and leadership through, creating opportunities for people to kind of like learn about these various things. So that is something we're looking up to as an organization, to see that we are able to, increase the conversations, and we're talking of conversations that are going to be productive when it comes to how do we talk about leadership, how do we talk about education on the African continent. So there are things we're eyeing as an organization to achieve. So those are some of our main objectives. But I think after the session, I'll definitely share with you a copy of the Constitution so that you could probably further read about our other objectives as an organization. Right. So something I think we do at the Africa Student Support Network, and I think our old members and our new members, is something definitely everyone can be like, yeah, the Africa Student Support Network, really, we value our members and our staff. And we do this because they make our company great. They make our organization great. So one of the things we value, like something we always prioritize in our network, is the wellness and the dignity of the people we work with, the people we serve. So that is something definitely everyone should be happy and should just feel safe about. This is a very safe space where you can definitely challenge an idea, you can propose a new solution. Yeah, so it is a very kind of like wonderful program if you're looking for maybe an organization to work with. So AFRISSUN is a very safe space for everyone to work. And yeah, so I think on average, 2 years is the average time a staff spends with us. So maybe people have been in the network for maybe like around 2 years, and then 2 years they find another thing to do. So the way we look at AFRISSUN is that it's not more like maybe a place where maybe, like, for example, the volunteers we get or the people who work on our projects. So these are people who are coming to give back. So once the giving back finishes, they go and do other things. So that is just how we operate as AFRISSUN. So we hope that this is an organization that can definitely stay. And I think for us as the core leadership, we should need to probably hang around more for more time because we kind of like need to maybe lay better strategies. But for other people who might be joining us, yeah, they can always have simple contracts. You can help us with a project maybe for 6 months, and then you can be able to go. What we put at the forefront of whatever we are doing is we have given you an opportunity to give back, and the community has actually benefited from the work you have been able to do. And yeah, our average working time, this would be the most ideal, maybe kind of working time for us as an organization, because I understand people have various busy schedules, but I think 7 hours could be the average working time for an employee per week, for me, for everyone. But I think uh, this depends on kind of like the situations and the projects you're working on. But finding 7 hours for AFRISSUN per week wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah. So, and just like I made clear, so a typical month with us involves a lot of activity. So as AFRISSUN, we don't have like a very rigid structure. Our programs are very flexible, and we believe that our executive team members have that ability to adjust programs in a way that it can be able to engage the community, but at the same time you feel engaged in what you're doing. So in other words, we have our 3 core programs, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. But these core programs kind of like have a general structure. And I think as an executive director, as a programs director, or as any member of the Africa Student Support Network, you can always throw in proposals of how can we make our programs better and how can we increase engagement in our program. So we create that space for you as an executive member, as a member, to implement as well as create new initiatives that help achieve the organization's mission. Yeah, why we don't want to have really big kind of like rigid structures is that we want to break that bit of rigidity, and we want to create that flexibility in our programs, in that we don't test a program for so long until it fails. But I think we have that bit of flexibility that maybe once you test a program, or we test a simple outreach initiative for maybe 3 months, and then we don't really get the positive results, we can easily change it. And also maybe if you have a good program, but you know how you can make it better, I think we can also our flexibility in the program structure kind of like allows that. It creates for you that space to be able to do that particular thing. So you shouldn't be worried about coming up with the new initiatives. Once we trust you with the programs and with these things, I think just feel free to take ownership of whatever you're trying to do. I think it will really help. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm being kind of like very, but I think I'm just trying to kind of like highlight a few things that I think would be very important. So currently, given the fact that as AFRISSUN, we are kind of like a bit dispersed, so we don't share the like common spaces. So we make use of online documents to be more of our working spaces. We use the Facebook workplace, and then you also I think you have learned about the new Facebook Messenger kind of like video conferencing app. So this one is one of the best apps I've seen so far. I think it's better than Zoom. It's better than Google Meet. So it's a combination of Zoom, it's a combination of House Party, Google Meet. So it really has wonderful features. So I think it is something we can try out. And I think as an organization, it also provides an opportunity for us to reach out more to the youth, because many people kind of like use Facebook for very funny stuff. But I think it could be a wonderful opportunity if we thought of maybe setting up a few kind of like simple short courses via Facebook Messenger, and you kind of like help the youth out there to kind of like earn something. And then yeah, we also like use Zoom. So these are more like our working spaces. This is how we communicate within the organization. And yeah, so that is more like about our working spaces at the Africa Student Support Network. And I think moving forward, we're going to lay clear strategies of how we're going to be communicating, because I think communication is one of the most important things we have to work on as a network. Right. So to our new members, and I believe all of us know kind of like how the structure of AFRISSUN is kind of like structured. So when you're like when the organization was starting, I think a big idea we had at the back of our minds was creating a network of in the like kind of like finding a way of bringing together institutions in Uganda, in Africa, because we believe that there could be resources that they could be able to share. So in our network, we have universities. So in Uganda, we have members in Gulu University, Makerere, and Bara University. So and secondary schools, we still have Mengo Senior School because I think we spend most of the time trying to figure out how are we going to create and engage like a platform that could actually engage students from secondary schools, because I think that is something we're also trying to look through. Like when you look at the structure of the Mengo AFRISSUN kind of like club, it needs a little bit of adjustments. So we need to work more on our programs to see how can we engage the youth at that level. How can they be engaged? How can we start up programs for them to actually start getting engaged? And then also we have our doors are really open to professionals, people who are out of school, and any other person who really wants to be part of AFRISSUN, and another person who kind of like believes in the mission. Right. So yeah. So do you have any questions so far? I don't know if I've really spoken a lot, but do you have like any questions so far about what maybe I've spoken about so far? Shibalo, do you have any questions? All right, so it is unfortunate that the meeting will be ending in maybe like 10 minutes, so we shall have to log in again using the same login details. I'm really sorry for that inconvenience. Yeah, but that is what we kind of like had so far. So let me just run through the programs real quick. And these are all things I think we can be able to find on the kind of like website, and I'll also be sharing with you our kind of like program books. So we kind of like designed a few program books. So I'll be able to email them to you after the meeting. So our main programs, we have the AFRI scholarship that mainly kind of like avails that financial aid opportunity to underprivileged children. So underprivileged is kind of like subjective to definition. So we look at people who have lost their parents suddenly, sudden job losses, or people have misunderstandings in families, and the result is the child who is paying the child's school fees, the mother, the father, but none of them wants to do that. So as an organization, we kind of like make such interventions when we kind of like have the financial resources. And then we also have the Afri Leadership Program, and this one mainly looks more in character development and also leadership development of the individuals, because we believe educations. I think it's a conversation we're also having with Shiba yesterday. So institutional African continent kind of like focus more on the academic development of someone. So how is someone developing academically? But I think they ignore kind of like the holistic development of an individual, ignoring the fact that this person won't be able to survive in the outside world without having, kind of like these additional skills to do with leadership, and also to kind of like, how should I conduct myself outside there? How should I interact with my community? So I think these are issues that leadership can be able to kind of like help that person address. And then we also have the Afro opportunity. So this one looks more in creating opportunities for people to grow. That is in terms of maybe soft skill development, in terms of getting more opportunities, maybe to go for conferences. We can also create opportunities for people to take on leadership. So those are kind of like our three main programs. That is more like a rough summary of what these programs look like. But just like I promised, I'll provide more details about the programs. I'll email them after the program, after this session. Right. So I think we don't have really any questions. So allow me just run through this. Yeah, and so our kind of like financial resources. So apparently, as an organization, we are mainly relying on donations. However, this is a trap we really want to escape. maybe in the next 2 to 3 years and beginning from this year. So when you look at our initial strategies, we have school fundraising, and so we kind of like have students donate money to the network through the clubs in schools. So that is how we have been raising money in the past. And then we have ventured into online fundraising this year. Antonio got us the first donation of $24. So it was a miracle because I never imagined, like this year we could actually have donations given the situation. But I think our online fundraising is really going on well, and we've been able to also like receive grants from Microsoft, and also we got into another giving web platform, global giving. So I think we can be able to raise more money from kind of like this platform in the shortest time possible. Like I think this year, if we kind of like put our strategies right, my assumption is that we can be able to raise at least, if things don't go well, we can be able to raise at least $10,000, for the remaining half of the year, right? So that is if the strategy doesn't go on well. But however, we have talks with organizations that so the earlier on this year we had I was in conversations with some Canadian company that was very interested in our work and really wanted to give us around 50K per year. And then I think this whole pandemic kind of like affected their system, and they said they'll definitely be getting back to us as soon as possible. But yeah, at least to me, this year really looks a little bit bright compared to the past years. I think we just need to improve more on our strategies to make sure that we strengthen our financial muscles, because I believe very soon Lydia will be asking for some money to implement some of the programs she's going to be running. So yeah, so I don't know who Lydia will press, but I think Shiva will be responsible for that. So Shiva, you'll be pressed by Lydia in case we don't have money. And then I think another another thing we have been like another question we have been kind of like trying to explore is how can our core programs make us more sustainable? Because I believe that we are going to start maybe running a few programs, but I think we can also be able to earn a few coins from these programs to make sure that we support the work of the organization, and also we support the volunteers who are doing the work. Yeah. So as AFRISSUN executives, I think we have a lot of tasks, and given the nature of our work environment, we're still students, and things may really get very hard for you. My message here is that you don't really need to worry, because we have a wonderful support structure. So we have online volunteers. So we have had volunteers edit work. When it comes to financial management, we kind of like have volunteers from giving way, and these ones are very, very kind of like they're very engaged. It's all about you posting a task, and then you get the task done as soon as possible. So I think we have been failing as an organization is that I've been really bad at role delegation. So yeah, it has really been a lot of work, but I think having a new team will definitely help us delegate our tasks better. So having online volunteers from giving way, and also we have very experienced volunteers from Benevity. So we have people you can get a person from maybe JP Morgan, like a person from MasterCard, from Benevity. So I think it's all about us knowing, for example, the particular department you're working with, knowing where are the loopholes, where do I need support, and then you kind of like come up with a description of the kind of work you want to be helped with, and then you can use our platforms, these platforms we have, to kind of like get the work done in the shortest time possible. So that is one of the support structures we have. We also like have wonderful kind of like members who are very experienced when it comes to maybe legal stuff, when it comes to project implementation, in case you need people to help you advertise stuff. We have a rich pool of members who are ready to be who are willing to be engaged in our various programs. So I think you can also definitely reach out to our members. We're trying to kind of like find a way of creating a general WhatsApp group. So right now we have so many WhatsApp groups from different kind of like places, but we want to create more like a general WhatsApp group where we shall have rules and regulations of how people should use social media. So if it's a WhatsApp group, this is a shared platform. How should people communicate over it? What shouldn't people post? You know, like everything they should be posting should be governed by a few things. So those are some of the few regulations I was kind of like trying to think through. And then another beauty is that in case in our network, you know, you don't find the support you need, you can definitely refer someone to be hired to kind of like, you know, assist with that particular task in the network. So I think that is another beauty. So please, do you mind? I'm going to end the meeting, and please just log in, and then I think we shall be done in the next 20 minutes because we just have 1 minute left, and it's kind of like going to log us off. So please just log back, and then we kind of like continue. I hope it has really been helpful, and yeah, hope the next sessions will also be helpful in helping us understand how we're standing as an organization.